Princess Leonor controversial yes, why Spain isn't celebrating. It was supposed to be the moment that united a nation, yet instead, Princess Leonor's long-awaited, yes, has become the most divisive royal milestone Spain has seen in decades. What should have been a triumphant declaration of loyalty, duty, and future queenship has instead sparked whispers across Madrid cafes, arguments in parliament, and fiery debates on Spanish social media timelines. Some hail Leonor's decision as courageous. Others call it a calculated move. A few claim it exposes the fragile state of the Spanish monarchy more than ever. But what really happened behind that historic, yes? Why is Spain, normally proud, united, and fiercely protective of its future queen, so strangely hesitant to celebrate? This is the story behind the controversy, a web of political tension, generational pressure, royal expectations, and one young woman at the center of it all. Princess Leonor's yes was never going to be simple. But nobody expected it to be this explosive. A nation waiting for an answer. For months, speculation had been building. Newspapers released countdowns. Royal watchers predicted dates. Supporters organized events. Even critics waited with sharpened opinions. Everyone believed Princess Leonor was preparing for a major announcement, but no one could agree on what it would be. Would it be a step closer to the throne? A surprising pivot toward international work? A hint at a future engagement? Or a public affirmation of loyalty at a moment when Spain's political stability felt uncertain? Rumors swirled, each more dramatic than the last. So when Leonor finally appeared, poised, calm, and wearing a symbolic shade of deep royal blue, Spain collectively held its breath. And she said yes. Yet the reaction that followed wasn't cheers. It was confusion, because the meaning of that yes was far more complicated than anyone expected. What the yes actually meant. Princess Leonor's yes was not to a person but to a promise. She formally reaffirmed the ancient oath of loyalty to Spain's constitution, signaling her readiness to assume the full responsibilities of the crown someday. It was a powerful declaration, the first major public step toward her future as Queen Leonor I. But Spain wasn't united in celebration. Why? The answer lies deep in Spain's political divides, its generational transformation, and a royal family still healing from past scandals. To some, Leonor's yes represented stability. To others, it felt outdated. And to many, it symbolized the intense pressure placed on a 19-year-old navigating the expectations of an entire nation. The controversy didn't come from the yes itself, but from everything it revealed. A divided Spain and a pressured princess. Royal oaths aren't new in Spain. They are tradition, ritual, symbol. But Spain in 2025 is not Spain in 1981, or even 2014. The country is more fractured, politically polarized, and generationally split than ever. And Princess Leonor's yes collided with all of it. The political divide. Spain is embroiled in debates over autonomy versus unity, monarchy versus republicanism, tradition versus modernization. Leonor's oath, opting into the centuries-old system, brought all those arguments roaring back into the spotlight. For royal supporters, her decision was reassuring. For critics, it became ammunition. Instead of seeing a young princess stepping into her destiny, many saw the monarchy stepping into a storm. The shadow of scandal. King Felipe VI has worked tirelessly to restore the monarchy's reputation after the controversies surrounding former King Juan Carlos. Leonor's flawless public image is part of that restoration. So when she reaffirmed her loyalty to the crown, some celebrated it as a new chapter. Others felt the monarchy was trying too hard to use Leonor's youth and innocence as a shield against criticism. Her yes became entangled in old wounds Spain hasn't fully healed from. The pressure on youth. Princess Leonor represents a new generation, one that values independence, progress, and global identity. Many of her peers feel the monarchy does not speak for them. So when she committed herself to a future that demands absolute duty, formality, and sacrifice, young Spaniards felt disconnected. They weren't sure whether to admire her or worry for her. And that's where the controversy grew. The royal household's unspoken expectations. Behind palace walls, Princess Leonor's yes wasn't simply a ceremonial moment. It was the culmination of years of preparation, military training, constitutional studies, international diplomacy, a carefully calibrated public image. Every step was building toward this moment. But the royal household knew the risk. A single moment of affirmation could either unite the nation or expose underlying tensions. They hoped for unity. They received debate. And while the palace remains outwardly calm, insiders claim Leonor's team anticipated a mixed reaction. They understood that Spain is changing, and that Leonor must adapt faster than any monarch before her. International pressure and global eyes on Leonor. Spain wasn't the only one watching. European monarchies have been undergoing a generational shift. The Danish throne passed from Queen Margrethe to King Frederik. Prince Christian of Denmark is emerging as a global favorite. Princess Ingrid Alexandra of Norway is preparing quietly but steadily. Belgium's Princess Elizabeth continues to impress on the world stage. And Princess Leonor, often seen as the most prepared of her generation, holds a uniquely delicate position. Every move she makes, every oath, speech, and symbolic gesture, is compared internationally. Her, yes, wasn't just a Spanish moment. It was a global royal moment. Some foreign analysts praised her maturity. Others questioned whether the pressure on her has become too heavy. Spain, perhaps subconsciously, feels all eyes watching, and that only amplified the domestic reaction. The internet reaction, a storm Princess Leonor didn't ask for. Within minutes of the announcement, Spanish social media erupted. Teams formed instantly. Team Yes, admiration for her devotion, discipline, and patriotism. Team She's too young, concern over the weight of royal duty. Team Monarchy is outdated, critiques based on political philosophy rather than Leonor herself. Team, this means something else, fans speculating that this oath signals upcoming announcements, including possible future engagement rumors. The controversy wasn't rooted in anger, but in overwhelming curiosity, confusion, and projection. Princess Leonor became a screen onto which Spain projected its tensions, its pride, and its fears. Not even the palace anticipated the scale of it. The role of Princess Sofia, the sister factor. Something fascinating happened in the days following Leonor's. Yes, the nation began looking not only at the heir, but also at the spare. Princess Sofia, beloved for her warmth and authenticity, became a surprising symbol of calm amidst chaos. Her quiet support beside Leonor softened the controversy, but it also sparked new public conversations. How will Sofia balance her own future outside the spotlight? Does she envy or fear the pressure on her sister? Could Sofia become Leonor's stabilizing force as Spain navigates the next era? The sisters' bond, always strong, always sincere, became part of the national conversation, adding emotional depth to a political moment. Was Princess Leonor truly ready? This is the question fueling the controversy more than any other. Supporters say yes, absolutely, she has trained tirelessly and shown remarkable maturity. Critics say no. They argue that even the best preparation cannot equip a teenager for the burden of leading a monarchy in crisis. But the truth is more nuanced. Princess Leonor is prepared, academically, militarily, diplomatically, more than any European heir her age. But emotional preparation, psychological endurance, the ability to navigate a turbulent nation as a young woman in the spotlight. No amount of training can guarantee success. Her, yes, reveals a princess willing to evolve, but it also exposes the uncertainties of a modern monarchy in a modern world. Why Spain isn't celebrating, the real reason. After examining politics, generational shifts, royal expectations, and public reaction, the question remains. Why isn't Spain celebrating? Here is the raw, unfiltered truth. Because Spain is afraid. Afraid of instability. Afraid of repeating past mistakes. Afraid of losing unity in a deeply divided time. Afraid of placing too much pressure on a young woman who represents the country's future. Princess Leonor's, yes, wasn't controversial because of what she said. But because of everything Spain feels right now. A nation in transition. A monarchy in transformation. A princess stepping into history with millions watching her every move. Spain isn't mourning the, yes. It's mourning the simplicity it once had. A time when royal symbolism felt predictable, comfortable, and unquestionably celebrated. Now, everything is questioned. Even loyalty, even tradition, even a future queen. What this means for Princess Leonor's future. Despite the controversy, one truth remains. Princess Leonor is more central to Spain's identity than ever before. Her, yes, marked a turning point in her destiny. A declaration of maturity. A foundation for future authority. A promise to lead with courage. Spain may not be celebrating loudly, but it is watching closely. And in the long run, that may be more powerful than applause. The controversy does not weaken Leonor. It makes her relevant. It challenges her to evolve. It forces Spain to rethink the monarchy's future. And it sets the stage for her next major chapter, one that could define a generation. What comes next? 3 possible paths for Leonor. A surge in public engagement. Expect Leonor to take on more visible responsibilities, connecting directly with youth in regions where the monarchy struggles for support. A modernization of the crown. She may become the face of a reformed Spanish monarchy, more transparent, accessible, and digital. A personal revelation. Controversy often precedes major announcements. There are already whispers, especially in royal watching circles, of more independence for Leonor, upcoming international studies, or even early romantic developments, particularly involving Danish circles. Her next move will be decisive. Final thoughts. The start of Leonor's real reign. Princess Leonor's, yes, wasn't the fairy tale celebration Spain imagined. It wasn't a unanimous triumph. It wasn't a moment of national unity. But it was real. It was honest. It reflected the complicated reality of a modern constitutional monarchy trying to survive in a changing world. Spain may not be celebrating, but it is paying attention. And for a future queen, attention matters more than applause. Princess Leonor's journey has officially begun. The controversy isn't a setback, it is her baptism by fire. This is not the end of the story. It's the beginning of her reign.